Alright, time for the other Prince that was promised deck this week, which is a Martell Prince that was promised. And probably to nobody's surprise, the character for this agenda is the Red Viper. It's really just a question of which version of the Red Viper to use for this agenda. You can make arguments for all three versions. Ultimately, I went with this one because he has Intimidate and he has the ability to gain power, even though he doesn't actually have Renown. But I figure reusing the Intimidate and then still gaining power off of his reaction is better than the Icon version of the Red Viper, the other 6-cost version that just has Renown. And the core set version, it's really unfortunate, but he's still on the restricted list, which sucks because if he wasn't on the restricted list, that would probably be the version that I would use. I think that would be the more interesting, more fun, and maybe even better version of the Red Viper to use here. But since he's not, I went with this version, since he is on the restricted list. The restricted card is still Flea Bottom, but I'm actually getting close to considering whether I should still use this or if I should just use trade routes, because despite having Shadow City Bastard and Return to the Fields and stuff like that, I'm still finding that there's quite a few situations, like games and turns and whatever, where I'm not actually using it, or I'm not using it to do very much. And I think that's because the games always just come down to people playing resets. Like, I'll just make a big board, and then they'll just spam resets, and either the resets work or they don't. And the Flea Bottom doesn't actually make much difference in that respect, like whether they're able to reset to get rid of my Red Viper or not. As compared to a game where they make their own board, and they try to fight your board with their board. And that's a situation where Flea Bottom can be more useful and get you more of an advantage. But when you're going up against like some Hollow Hill deck that just ignores the board and only wins by playing resets, then I don't know. It doesn't feel as great. So maybe take it out for trade routes, since we do have Ariane Martell, and she gets expensive. But for now it's still in here. We'll see what happens. Since we have the Bastard version of the Red Viper, I wanted to play a bunch of Bastards. So we do have Shadow City Bastard, but that's not really enough. Bastard Daughters, and then I tried to put in as many Sand Snakes as I could get away with. And I have most of them in here somewhere, and I think they're all decent enough to be included. We've got Nymeria, Obara, Obella. Again, Nymeria, like, I would consider actually just playing the 4-cost version of her for the same reason as what I just talked about with Flea Bottom, because she's better in these matchups where people are ignoring the board. If you can make them win dominance, then she is very annoying for those types of decks. But undoubtedly this version is better where characters on the board actually matter. We've got Loreza, Elia, Doria. We've got them all in here. So I think they make a nice sort of package of characters to try and support the Red Viper. Like, their abilities make them okay on their own. They can still do some work. We've got this version of Ariane. We're not using like Dornish Spies or Aereo Hota or anything like that, so the core set version is not as good. This version is better for winning power challenges by 5. And again, I just prefer like the sort of ability to play this and then bring it back to hand so that it's safe from resets. You can do that with the core set version as well, but I don't feel that it's effective in a proactive deck like this. I think this card is more proactive, and the core set Ariane is more for a reactive deck where you're going to be the one that's spamming the resets. That's where I'd probably use the core set version. So she's in here, and we've got the core set Duran to buff these two, Ariane and the Red Viper. And obviously there's good reasons for both of them to be made big by his ability. He's very nice if you can actually get him into play and have him stay in play in combination with one of the other two big Lord Lady characters. But again, that gets difficult because of resets. But that's the idea. It's very good if you can actually do it. And then I've got a bunch of other efficient small Martell characters in here to protect the big characters and, you know, block unopposed and things like that. Because Martell has a lot of really efficient small characters. Desert Raiders, House Stain Escorts, Green Blood Traders, and even Prince's Attendant. I like this card. In the deck that I'm playing that actually has Martell Lords and Ladies, I think it's a pretty solid card. Like I said, it's just a reducer on steroids, and there's nothing wrong with that. It goes well with Return to the Fields, because Like, if you're going to marshal a lord or lady anyways, you can just get one of these into play for free. It pays for itself, and then you have another thing that you can potentially sack with Return to the Fields. I also threw in this version of Quentin, because he's really helpful for activating the agenda when you can go second, and he has his stealth, and he's also a lord, so he can be buffed by Duran. Just one copy. He's still not a very good card, but I think it's okay to have one copy. And Marcella, another lady that could potentially be buffed. For the locations and such, we've got Starfall because it's really good. Got some economy. I don't have Dornish fiefdoms because I think I have 3 high initiative plots, which is Riddle, Return to the Fields, and Confiscation. I don't feel that's really enough to justify running the Dornish fiefdoms. But I do have bodyguards and milks. I'm not sure about the Prince's plan. In theory, this is good to like add a power icon and use strength buffs to help activate your agenda. In practice, I have trouble paying for it. I just never seem to have that extra 2 gold to actually use it. But I'm not sure what to use instead of it. I was thinking like maybe, what is that card called? The 0 cost cancel event? He calls it Thinking. I think maybe I could go down to like 2 bodyguards and cut this and play 3. He calls it Thinking. I would give that a try maybe, but again, I'm keeping it for now. So yeah, and the Condemned, because if you get rid of their power icons, they can't block your power challenge for the agenda trigger, ideally. That's the idea. So we play Riddle, we play At the Gates, we play Close Call, we play Confiscation to get rid of Milk, Counting Coppers, which honestly feels unnecessary a lot of the time. It often feels like this deck draws too many cards to play Counting Coppers, but I'm just too paranoid to not use it. Not sure. It could definitely probably be switched out for something else. And Return to the Fields, because I'm playing enough small characters to try and go really wide. And then Valar Morghulis, because ideally you can like search out, your Red Viper and then put a bodyguard on him or something and play Valar. So I think the deck is actually pretty reasonable. Again, it has the problem of proactive decks, where it doesn't have like enough ways to interact with and disrupt the game plans of passive decks. Like you can see here, this is Martell Banner of the Stag. Now the nice thing about Martell Banner of the Stag is I think every game that I've seen this since the Baratheon box has come out, this is people playing the new Renly and the new version of Melisandre. And that's handy because that's like a lot more actually fun and interactive to play against, even if you lose to it, than the standard 5 million resets with Chamber the Painted Table. So we'll see what happens. Double Riddle, that's fine. Again, it's better to just open your Riddle instead of opening At the Gates into their Riddle. He made me first, so I get to Milkobara. That's very nice. Let's think about how are we gonna marshal Marcella? Well, we're definitely going to do this. We're definitely going to play this card. Don't know if it's worth it to marshal Marcella. I guess I can't afford her at this point either way. So we'll just play one of these. And then we have 1 gold left over to play this. This is a situation where I might be happy that I have Counting Coppers in my deck. Because this hand looks like it could turn into a Counting Coppers situation. Red Priest is a bit annoying, but this is actually not that bad because what's he going to do? Remove Marcella? Well, he picked Shadow City Bastard. That's interesting. I already have 2 of them. Why are you picking the other one? I had River Gates in the deck originally, but I don't think I was thinking, and I was like, I'm not sure that I've ever triggered these even one time, so I just took them out for Rose Roads. Well, I do want to do Military Claim. So we're going to use Starfall and the Shadow City Bastards to try to get military through with the Desert Raider. Let's go for Intrigue first. I'm assuming he'll defend it. Okay. Maybe he recognizes that he doesn't want to fulfill Military Claim. But unfortunately, there's shouldn't be anything he can do about it. Let's do this one. Only 1 gold, so no No vengeance for him. And I don't care about him getting military claim on me because I have a Desert Raider. So presumably he'll just do intrigue. Hopefully this will not discard Marcella. Nice. Kept the Marcella. Still have 2 limited in hand. So now I can either do coppers or at the gates, but if I do coppers, it's still going to spend basically all my gold to marshal Marcella, so I might as well do at the gates. Then maybe coppers after that. And I think since he did counting coppers, he really wants to draw some cards. Not sure if that's a good thing for me or not. I already have a Great Hall, so I really am thinking about getting Gates of the Moon here, because I already have 2 Great Halls. Oh, but do I want to give him money? I really don't. I'll just get a Great Hall. Damn, I'm first. Poor Quentin. He doesn't have his stealth. But he costs 0 gold, so we might still marshal him. Don't have a Sand Snake for Tyene. That's too bad. Tyene is very nice when you have like Loreza, Daria, Bastard Daughter, stuff like that. Very efficient character. So I can marshal both Quentin and Marcella. I guess that's the play. And I guess next turn we go probably return to the fields. Flea Bottom, but nothing to use it with yet. Hopefully you won't get Shadow City Bastard. Desert Raider. Well, at least I got 1 military claim before he played it. So I think I can force an agenda trigger if I do this. Yeah. Then use Marcella to defend intrigue. Seems like a good game plan. I don't remember, 6 cost Quentin ever being a thing. Although the funny thing about him here is if he does military, I can kill Quentin and kill that Red Priest if I want to get my Shadow City Bastard back. He's going to discard my Viper. That's so rude. Didn't need to do that, bro. Really didn't need to do that. Very obnoxious. Defends the intrigue. Interesting. I guess I pass. I'm thinking about doing return to the fields because I smell a reset. If he doesn't reset, counting coppers is better. Oh man. Yeah, let's just do this. Damn, I missed. Let's do Forced March first, and then return to the fields. I mean, I'm still not going to sacrifice Quentin, so. Oh, I don't want to sacrifice my Desert Raider without Flea Bottom. Sucks. But I might do it. Because he's kneeling. Is it worth it? Is it really worth it? I mean, I'm pretty likely to draw another chomp. I'll just do it. Come on. Yes, got a Green Blood Trader. Oh, I probably should have done Blood Orange Grove. That was a misclick. Green Blood Trader or Daria Sand? Probably Daria. Let's do this. Damn, I'm 1 gold off of Elia and Daria. But I guess I can probably get Tyene into play and then bring Elia in with Obara's ability. So let's do this. Looks like a solid turn. And like now I probably have to play Counting Coppers. Begging Brother. That sucks. That blows. I don't want to deal with freaking Begging Brother, man. Well, let's trigger the agenda again. Give me that Viper. See if he has another Scene in Flames. I'm going to keep Daria standing so that I can use Tyene's ability. Then he can only cancel either that or Obara. He won't be able to cancel both. Cancel it. He's too smart for that. I'm still going to return Obara to my hand in case of a reset. It's more cost efficient to return Tyene, but I'm just doing this to dodge reset, so I'm going to do it this way. There, he spent the cancel there from the Begging Brother on something that really didn't matter, so that's good. Do I kill Quentin here? It's a serious consideration. Let's do it. Alright, and now my board isn't even that good for him to reset. Quentin's ability actually doing some work there. Wow, is he over reserve? 11 cards, 5 reserve. That feels bad. At least he's going to have some flea bottom targets. Bastard Daughter. See, there's the new Melisandre. Dornish Spy. Ario Hota. Damn, that sucks. That sucks. Maybe I need to play Begging Brother. I think I play Close Call now, because I actually have the Viper in hand, so I don't want to do Counting Coppers. Retaliation. Interesting. Even though there's only 1 copy of Quentin in the deck, I'm just doing it for gold. Is this a 5 gold plot? There's Flea Bottom. Yes. Alright, well he put me first. So I suppose I should marshal my Viper that has Intimidate. And then, do I want to play Obara? The problem, it's either Obara or like Shadow City Bastard Prince's plan. Obara's just got to be better. Let's do her. Kingsgrave, are you serious? Holy crap. He actually has Kingsgrave in his deck. He really doesn't like the Prince that was promised agenda. Okay then. My plan anyways was to try and win the power challenge without the Red Viper, so that he can't use Ario Hota on Red Viper in the power challenge to both remove Viper and cancel the power. That was going to be what I was going to try to do. Since he has Shadow City Bastard, he can mess with me. Let's see what he does. Well, we're just going to take a power icon here no matter what happens. Use that on Obara. Okay, well then, I might as well use Obara to put this into play. The problem is this Shadow City bastard. Oh no, I'll have exactly enough if he lets me use Flea Bottom. So what he can do is bring out his Shadow City bastard again and take icons off Marcella. I think that's what he'll do. But then he's sort of leaving it open for the Red Viper to attack. So he might not want to do that. Okay, that makes sense. If he bounces the Red Viper with Kingsgrave, then I can't use the Intimidate. So we're not going to use the Viper for a power challenge. Just going to do this. Do a power challenge with the Shadow City Bastard from Flea Bottom. Let's get in. Let's see, do we want to use him? We don't want to do military because he has a Desert Raider, so let's just use him to win Intrigue. Oh, he gave up. Alright, I guess we got him. Maybe I can play again. Let's see. 21 minutes. This is good enough. You obviously got to see... Actually, this was probably the cleanest game I've had with this deck in terms of none of my stuff getting disrupted and all of my stuff working together as intended. The deck definitely went off here. And I somewhat blame the opponent for playing bad cards like Kingsgrave, but I'm playing 6-cost Quentin, so what can I say? Although, again, he actually did work this game. I mean, killing that Red Priest, actually kind of clutch, because I was ahead on board, so it's like, okay then, I'm happy to just trade my character for yours. So we got there.